Hi guys, Inky Vaper here, and today we're going to be talking about a accessory for the Limitless Limitless RDTA that I reviewed a few weeks ago now. Love this atomizer, absolutely. Can't say enough good things about it, but the one thing that didn't sit well with me was the Delrin top cap, the old black Delrin top cap that's here. Just not great. Too short. Yeah, you could put Goon, Griffin, and Kennedy drip tips in it, but then they kind of looked a bit weird because you've got that sort of swooping bit, and then that on top, and it all looked a bit sort of cobbled together. So Signature Tips have brought out their own custom-made top cap and drip tip combinations. Now you can buy the drip tip. You've got a choice of various different colours and designs of the actual drip tip itself, and then you've got a stainless steel top cap or a Delrin top cap, and you can basically just put them together as you see fit. And you can even buy, you could buy a couple of different coloured drip tips if you wanted to, although they are quite in there once you've got them in there, but you know, they are removable. It's just a bit of a job. The cool thing about them is, well, we'll see all this down below, but you aren't sacrificing airflow control on this by using this top cap. But we'll have a look at that down low. So we might as well go and do that now. So see you down there. Okay, here we are down low. This is the Limitless stroke iJoy RDTA with its standard Delrin black chuff cap that comes with it, or chuff style cap that comes with it. And this part here, the actual mouthpiece here, is just let me just, you didn't see, it's just way too short, way too. I never liked it, and I didn't like the restriction. This is one of the only things that I kind of knocked the thing for in the review that we did of the actual device itself. So what we've got to show you today is the Signature Tips custom top cap and drip tip, which is just sat here. So I'm just going to show you this. As you can see, it's got the sort of scalloped out airflow controls, double O-ringed. It's got a press fit, quite a firm fit wide bore drip tip that goes in here. You can choose, basically when you're on the site, you can choose which drip tip you want to go for. There's various different colours. There's reds, there's blacks. This is called camo because it's sort of mottled green and browns. But they do all sorts of different colours. It's well worth having a look. You can choose your different drip tips. They also do the top cap in black Delrin as well. So if you've got a black tank, you can get the black. You know, if you've got the black Limitless RDTA, you can go for a black Delrin cap. Or if you like the look of the black Delrin cap from the old one, you can certainly get one of those and just have one of these drip tips. Now these, I would take the drip tip out, but once it's in, it's kind of in. It's quite a difficult. It's quite a very sort of firm fit, which is a good thing really, because you can basically just use this to do the airflow. So I'll just pop it on and show you what it looks like. So I'll get it there. So as you can see, it sits on there quite well. It does rise up just a touch. If you look, there's a tiny little gap. Now it's not that bad to look at, but what I've found as a beard wearer, somebody with quite a long tash, I get my little moustache. My moustache hairs get caught in this gap here, and if you've got a moustache and you've ever caught your tash in anything like this and then pulled the mod away, it fucking hurts. But that's the only real sort of downside to it. But you can then, as you can see, you might be able to see it on camera. See the airflow there. You can just twist it using the drip tip because it's such a firm hold on that. It's very well machined. Everything's nice and looks nice and works extremely well. Like I say, the only major problem that I've got is that little bit too much of a gap there. I may try a slightly I might try removing one of the O-rings at some point and see if that makes a difference, or if that doesn't work, then I might try using thinner O-rings that just make it sit a bit thinner or thicker. I'm going to play around with the O-rings, see if I can get it to sit a bit lower anyway. But as you can see, it's quite a cool looking thing. The fact that it's giving you that bit more extra height is just brilliant, and it's a nice wide bore to it, and I like it very much indeed. So we'll go back up top, and I'll give you my brief pros and cons on this, and I'll see you in a bit. Man, the flavour on this is just amazing. Welcome back. So the Limitless RDTA, God, I forgot what it was called then. Limitless RDTA custom drip tip and top cap from Signature Tips. I've got, this is the I think they call it camo. It doesn't look like camo to me, it's just sort of mottled greens and browns and blacks and stuff. But I liked it because I'm a fan of green. Cons on this. Cons are, I would say, what we were talking about in the down low is sometimes the top cap doesn't sit fully flush down on there, and that's probably an O-ring issue, which I'm going to try and sort out, but I wanted to leave it as was for the review purposes so that I could show you what it looks like. And it's not really that visible. If you look at it, you can't actually see it, but the problem I have is that occasionally one of my great big long tash hairs gets caught in that little gap there, and it gets pinched, and as I pull the RDTA away from my mouth, it yanks on my tash hair, which can be extremely painful. That really is the only con that I have for this device, or for this accessory I should say. The actual drip tip part of the top cap is absolutely brilliant. It's just the right kind of size for myself. I really like the mouth feel to it. It's really good. It's all nicely smoothly machined and finished. There's no burrs. There's no kind of little bits, you get those little seams of plastic or little sharp edges or anything like that. It's nice and solid. It feels really good in the mouth. Missus. The top cap itself is machined extremely well. Like I say, the O-rings I need to maybe have a little scutch at the O-rings and see if I can get something a bit different in there, or take one out and see what happens. But I'm going to play around with that. But yeah, the fact that the drip tip fits in really tightly means that you can just grab the drip tip and adjust your airflow backwards and forwards without any issues whatsoever. I mean, that's not a major problem for me because I tend to vape this wide open anyway. Now I'll link the Signature Tips site for these drip tips. They started doing goon top caps as well, I believe, with the various different drip tips to go in the top cap, and various other bits and bobs as well. So I mean, they do an absolute plethora of drip tips and tank adaptations and all sorts of things. So it's a really good site, well worth a good route round and have a look, see what you can find. But talking about this, they've got loads and loads of different colours. I'm sure that you'll be able to find something to your taste there. And you can buy the drip tips separate from the top cap, so you can have a change of drip tip if you wish, so that you can go matchy with different coloured mods. Most of my mods are either black or silver, so it's not really an issue for me. But I know a lot of people like to have drip tips that match their mods and all that kind of fashion stuff. But yeah, it's an extremely well made piece of kit, other than the fact that it doesn't always sit right on the top there. But like I say, I think that's just purely, certainly not a machining issue, because it's sitting flush right now perfectly okay. I think it's sometimes when the O-rings get a little bit wet, they rise up and it just sort of sits up a little bit higher, and that's when I get my tash hairs caught. Other than that, it's well worth a look. Very reasonably priced. I think the whole thing together came to about £16, something like that. Which for for something as stylish as that, I don't think it's an issue, and I think it really does make the RDTA look even nicer than it did already. And I've always been I was a fan of the way it looked anyway. Massive improvement on the stock Delrin mouthpiece. So if you've got an RDTA and you want a different top cap option, this is definitely worth a look. Like I say, link will be in the bit below. If you like the video, please press the like button for me, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and you'll get notifications on all my upcoming videos. Next video in line will probably be in the next day or so, and that's for the K-Fun 5. I've been testing the crap out of it. I've hardly put the thing down, so I think I'm about ready to do a video on that, and that'll obviously be a little bit longer than either of the two that I've released today. So with that being said, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.